Hey, people of the universe, it's Blue Jay Artist, and today I'm coming at you with part one of my special rant that I promised you guys. Um, Surprisingly, since then, I now have. What is it now? Let's see. I now have. It's loading. I now have 64 subscribers, which is really blew me away, you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope you like this rant. And to help me with this rant, I have the ultimate guide, which I got yesterday and was extremely interesting, which I will make a separate rant about later. But I now have it as a resource. And usual rules, don't be mean, blah blah blah. We're just wasting time talking about this. Alright, we're gonna start. Alright, first one at the top of the list, Lion Blaze. Alright, Lion Blaze. One of the cats of the prophecy, there will be three kin of Kyorkin who will power the stars in their paws. There wasn't actually much about him in the ultimate guide. It was basically what we already knew. With some characters, it revealed a lot of stuff. But let's not get too far into the ultimate guide. With Lion Blaze, he was a punk. I didn't like him from the start. I also didn't like him because he was stupid enough to have, a forbidden relationship with somebody. Yes, I get it. You can't help that you're in love and all that stuff that I really don't care about. Ooh, excuse me. And I found that, of course, I already knew if he was the battle guy, that Tiger Star was going to recruit him. I knew it. I knew it from the start. So Tiger Star recruited him. He almost turned him from being the good guy to the bad guy. And so he's like, no, Tiger Star, screw you. I don't want your training anymore. And so he left. And okay, the only thing I like about Lion Blaze is his relationship with Cinderheart. I think it's really cute, how they go on walks together, and I thought that was cute. But then dumb old Cinderheart had to be like, "Oh no, you're greater. You have great destiny to me." Fangirl tears. Come on, man. Really, don't do that. Just make Lion Blaze happy. And I don't really have much to say about Lion Blaze, so let's just move on to the next person who I really want to rant about, who is Goose Feather. Goose Feather, there was some intel on him in the Ultimate Guide. And actually, these are the exact words. Goose Feather was a naturally skilled medicine cat, but by old age he became better known for his laziness and sour temper than for his original talents. Honestly, I wish, make Maple Shade, which they did explain in this book, but I wish that they have, a little, those ebooks. I wish they had an ebook on Goose Feather, because I'd like to know how he went crazy. Because there's always a reason. And so basically, the guide is telling us that Goose Feather interpreted signs way too darkly, and that's why he got Moonflower killed and thought that the prophecy with Blue Star was, you will blaze like a fire or whatever. And I think you guys wanted me to rant really about Goose Feather because I said it seemed I don't remember what it was, but it was something. I don't remember what rant it was, but I said that he's always on drugs. Which he is. I mean, he's a weird old. He's I think he's Slender Cat because if Bluefur is lost in in a trade of thought and she's walking through the forest and Goosefeather's no, you're wrong. You should do this and then I was like, whoa, where did you come from? Where did you come from? But Goosefeather drove me insane because it seemed like he just needed to die already. That's all I'm gonna say. What's the next cat? Oh, ho, ho. Clear Sky. Now, you guys might be really confused, talking the frick is she talking about? I am talking about Clear Sky, who is from this new series, Dawn of the Clans, which I loved more than the past two series, that you should go and read right now. And I will spoil you. If you have not read any of those, you should go read them right now. Anyway, back to this. I didn't read into Clear Sky's part because Thunder Rising just came out, which is the second book in that series, which so far is good, but I did not want to spoil what happened, so I did not read about Clear Sky's section. Clear Sky's a jerk. Okay, so he falls in love with Brightstream. That's great. Happy for you. And then she gets taken off by an eagle. How sad. And then when they get to the territories, they find this rogue named Storm. He falls in love with her. She starts to hate him because he's so overprotective and like thinking she might die or whatever. And so then she goes away and she gets crushed by a den. And then Greywing rescues his son, his only surviving kin besides Greywing and his brother. And he's like, nope, I hate this kid. Take him away. And so what the heck? You're so desperate for love and then you turn away your own son? What is wrong with you? And let's talk about, okay, so his brother Greywing, he loved Brightstream. Brightstream died, but she still loved Clear Sky. Greywing fell in love with Storm. Storm fell in love with Clear Sky. What the heck? Dude, stop stealing all the girls from Greywing. It's not cool. It's like having a hotter older brother take away all the chicks from you. I mean, it's really... I feel bad for Greywing. And Greywing is really sweet. And I wish she would just find a nice mate and not be sad. But Clear Sky, the way... Why did they think he was a good idea to have as leader? He sucks. I mean... And he becomes Sky, like Skystar or whatever you want to call him. He becomes the leader of Sky Clan. No wonder they got kicked out. Clear Sky's terrible. I mean, he just drives me insane, okay? He's not a good leader. He had a terrible love life. He became a cranky old guy. And he is a terrible father so far. I have not read all of Thunder Rising, so please no spoilers. Next person, Broken Star. Broken Star. He's a well-developed villain. Like, for you, those of you who haven't read Yellowfang's Secret, in that book, we get to see how Broken Star grew up. Poor guy got bullied. Kind of like Scourge, but a little bit different. Like, he had all this ambition and stuff to be a great leader, but it just got led down a wrong path of, like, hate and stuff, like Scourge. And so, I can have sympathy for that, but I will not neglect the fact that Broken Star killed kids from his own clan by hurting them in, like, training or something. That's wrong. Why would you lead, like, that's like if people from the military, recruited, like, 8-year-olds. That's what that's like. And that's cruel. And reading, The Smallest Warrior, that was like Niagara Falls coming out of my eyes. That was so sad. And, Yellowfang, bad choice, man. I knew that this was gonna come along, and I'll make a separate rant about Dark Forest cats, but, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he went to the Dark Forest, and then he was in the battle with the clans, like the final battle, and so, they're charging into battle, and Broken Star kills FernCloud, and is like, and then Yellowfang jumps out and is like, you sucker, and then she kills him. And I was like, you go, Yellowfang, you killed him for a second time. Yay! Mother skills. And I think that's it about Broken Star. I hate him. Alright, Leaf Pool. Oh, here we go. In the Ultimate... Sorry, I'm referencing to the Ultimate Guide so much. In the Ultimate Guide, it didn't talk a lot about Crowfeather, which I'm kind of happy about. It talked more about how, like, early on in her life she could interpret signs, and it was clear that she was going to be a medicine cat. Like here it is. For a while, it seemed that young as she was, Leafpool knew what lay around every corner and every horizon. She knew the clans had found their new homes when they reached the lake. She knew that Brambleclaw would make a strong and loyal deputy for ThunderClan. She even knew that the blood would spill before the clans were truly settled around the lake, and she watched with her own eyes as Brambleclaw killed his half-brother Hawkfrost to save Firestar. So, yeah, I actually found that cool that they talked about that, because and they talked about that link with her and Squirrelfight a little bit, too, which I liked. But, it's just, she made bad choices. Once again, I get it. You can't help falling in love, and you can't change that. But you made bad choices. Crowfeather was terrible to her. Yes, I feel sympathy for that. Her kids hated her for quite a long time. Felt sympathy for that too. But she made her own choices. It was her choice to leave with Goose Feather. It was her choice to have kids. She just made bad decisions. But she's a loyal cat, and I can kind of forgive her for that. But she was just an idiot, really. Lovesick, or whatever you want to call it. That's all I have to say about Leafpool. Where were we? CinderPap. Oh my gosh, I love CinderPap. CinderPap is awesome. And I felt really bad for her because you could tell she was never supposed to be a medicine cat. Even in the Ultimate Guide. Gosh, I feel like I'm fangirling about this now. But even in the Ultimate Guide, it said that CinderPap was never destined to be a medicine cat. Like, you know the Fire and Tiger prophecy, who she thought was going to be bad? Well, apparently she was interpreted and said that, like, Squirrel Flight and Brambleclaw were supposed to save the forest, not destroy it. And you could tell that she wasn't supposed to be a medicine cat. She had the energy and the courage and the fierceness to be a warrior. And poor thing, because of stupid Tiger Star, got run over by a monster or a car or whatever the heck you want to call it, and flattened her dreams. Did that stop her from becoming an awesome cat? No. She was kind. And you know what I love best about her? She didn't fall in. Well, she did, but she didn't. She helped her feelings. She kept them closed in, and she did not fall for Tiger Star, Firestar. She even put them together with another cat, and probably in pain even. Like, basically, she was a cat that had her dreams crushed, but still was an awesome cat, which I love about her. And I wish she and Firestar would have been together. I hate him and Sandstorm together. And you already know that I hate pedo shipping. That's it about... Oh, FernCloud. FernCloud is next. Dustpelt and FernCloud were an okay couple, but it feels like they were only put together to make, like, way too many offsprings. They have, like, so many kids. I get it. Some of them died, but I've seen no other couple in the series have that many kids. That's, like, way too much. Like I said about Broken Star, her death was really sad, and it was really sad when Dustpelt, like, walked over the Firestar as he was, like, leaving for StarClan, and he was all like, please tell her that I love her, and I was like, fangirl tears. And, what else about her? She seemed like she could be a really cool warrior, but she stayed, like, her whole life in the nursery because she kept on having babies. And I was just sad that she didn't get to be a warrior and be cool, And when people say, this is about Ashfur, when people say, oh my gosh, Ashfur lost his mother and he lost Squirrel Flight and then he died, so sad. Let's be reminded that FernCloud is his sister. Same thing happened to her. She lost, like, what? 2 kids? You know, because Shrewpaw got run over by the monster. No, 3 kids, because 2 of them starved and Shrewpaw got run over by the monster. Or the bulldozer, whatever the heck that was. And she died. And so she lost a lot more than he did, in my opinion. And did she ever break down into a psychopath? No. Yellow Fang. I've always loved Yellow Fang. Backstory broke my heart. Backstory broke my heart because it's so sad. I mean, she loved this guy in between her clan, and then she was like, oh no, I have to give up this destiny so I can, help these cats. And I hate how Ragged Star wouldn't accept the fact that she just had a different destiny, and he's like, no, I love you, and it's like Ashfur all over again. But what I thought was really sad about Yellowfang's secret is when she was accused of killing the kits. We knew about this Into the Wild, that's why she was exiled, but when we saw that it was her mother's kits, that was really sad. Like, even her own mother turned against her just because something Broken Star said. That stinks. And I love how she and CinderPap were mentor and apprentice. That was a really sweet relationship also. And I also thought was sweet was that, between the relationship between her and Firestar, like when she's dying in the fire, and she was like, oh, well, I wish you would have been my son instead, but I could not have born a cat like you. I was like, fangirl tears again. It was so sweet. And then Fireheart treated her like a mother, and oh my gosh, it was so sweet. Although, I just like Yellowfang's personality all in all, and her loyalty is so awesome, so I can't judge her by that either. That's it about Yellowfang. Tawny Pelt. Tawny was kind of annoying from the beginning, and she was annoying when she was in ThunderClan, but I can see why she finally left and was like, screw all of you. If you're gonna think that I'm like Tiger Star, I'm just gonna leave. And I can see that, 'cause I hate being blamed for something I didn't do, which I bet you guys don't like being blamed for something you didn't do either. And so she went to Shadow Clan, and then after the whole battle, she stayed in Shadow Clan, which I found interesting. And then she was the Shadow Clan cat to, she was to represent Shadow Clan on going on the great journey. And did anybody feel like she just kind of got tossed aside in like detail matter? Because let's see, Stormfur played the part of loving Brooke and everything, and Feathertail and Crowpaw got together, and Feathertail was the prophecy of that, and it was from Bramblequill's point of view, and Squirrelfly also was like the daughter of Firestar, so of course she got seen. But Tawny was kind of like, she got bit by the rat, and then that was it. Like nothing else happened with her. But I like her and Rowan Claw together. Hate Rowan Claw, but I like her and Rowan Claw together. Hate Dawn Pelt. I hate Flametail, and I hate Tigerheart. I don't like her kits at all, but I like her and Rowan Claw together. Do you guys? I find it hilarious because Erin Hunter stated, one of the Erin stated herself that they made Rowan Claw deputy and had him become her mate because they kept on mixing up his gender, which I think is pretty sad. How do you mix up a cat's gender? That's just me. Alright, the last one for this part is Blue Star. Sorry, even her and Crooked Star's stories, I think together they could like, they're so sad. I mean, let's think of this. Blue Star lost her mother. She didn't have a ton of friends because she became like really like lashy and like sharp-tongued and everything after her mother died. Finally got over it, had a nephew. No, watched her sister fall in love with the guy she thought was dangerous. Then she had a nephew and everything was fine. And then she took her out one day and Snowfur got killed. So she had to come back and tell everybody that her sister was killed pretty much because of her. And so then Thistleclaw was mad at her forever. And then she fell in love with Oakheart, and she didn't even want to fall in love with Oakheart. And then she had his kids, and she had to give them up. And one of them died in the snow. And then, oh my gosh, her life is just so sad. Like, how can... Aaron's, why are you so cruel? That's what I want to know. Why are you so cruel? And I don't... the one thing... I love Blue Star. She was a great leader. She had great decisions, except for when she went insane. But she was still a great leader. And the one thing I didn't like about her, though, is that she kicked Thistleclaw out of StarClan. That's not cool, man. I get it that you thought he was dangerous, but I guess StarClan thought he was okay. Why do you have to kick him out? And just for you guys to hate me, I'm gonna do Thistleclaw next in my next rant in part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.